And let's bring that down. And in just a moment, we could get it popping with this disclosure. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So disclaimer/disclosure. Please note that the following is not legal advice and is provided for informational and educational purposes only. Investing in securities carries a high degree of risk and can result in the loss of your entire investment. You should consult with a qualified financial advisor or legal professional before making any investment decisions. The information contained in this presentation does not constitute an offer or solicitation to buy or sell any securities or other financial instruments. Any opinions expressed in this presentation are subject to change without notice and should not be relied upon as a recommendation to buy or sell any securities. Please do your own due diligence and research before making any investment decisions. Now, with that being said, we could jump right into some of this intraday market chatter. I was trying to think of something really clever to call this, for the day. But right now, we've got a nice bullish run going on with SPY so far. So a nice little pull up. Let me drop that to the 1 hour right quick. And so here we go. So we got this nice trend that kind of started a few days ago upwards. So as long as you're patient and as long as you've been just kind of steadfast with your trading and whatnot, you were able to kind of get through this and see some profits. Now this morning I did alert to my community that I hopped in on some SPY calls for the quick scalp. You guys know I like to show that. In other news, while we're talking about it, I'm getting ready to head over to Webull. I'm still going to keep some funds over in Robinhood, but I want to make it over to Webull. I've just been, I think it's time for me to graduate and elevate. And so to get to a more robust platform, I really want the ability to have a trailing stop loss. And Robinhood doesn't have that. And so I feel like that would just help me out a lot more if I had the trailing stop loss. But here we go. So I announced at 10:02 that I was going for a quick scalp on calls. And so here we go. We've got this we've got these candles that formed on the hourly. And then it was on this candle here that I informed I was going for a quick scalp. And I could still be in the trade, let's be honest. But you guys know me, right? You're not new to my live. You guys have been rocking with me for a while now. I'm very conservative. I went ahead and took profits. When I'm scalping, I usually aim for about 5% profit target. That's just for me. So as we can see here, I made almost 10% profit target. I'm happy with that. There's no reason for me to be greedy. Lately there's been a theme that when you see profit, you should take profit just because of how the market has been moving. So I've really been leaning into it. If I see me some profits, let me go ahead and take it. I don't mind, if it keeps running up like how we see right here. All right. Let's see who's all rocking with us so far. Everybody, thank you for coming through and joining. Anna James, of course, you know how much love and appreciation I got for you. Kim, I see you. Rich in Chi-Town, thanks for coming through. Blues, thank y'all. So this was a cool little scalp, but I really want to talk more about the main play that I dropped to the community. I had two. So for today, so far we're shooting 2 for 3, but I did some analysis over the weekend, as we all should, did some charting, and I took note of IBM and INTC, so Intel. And so what I noticed with IBM, this was me doing some charting yesterday over the weekend, that on the daily chart, we were in a support and resistance zone that was formed in December. And it appears to have broken a downward trend created by the latest earnings, which was on April 24th. And I mentioned that I would have increased confidence to the upside if the price could break above 168.24. Now, the contracts that looked the most appealing to me were the contracts that were expiring May 31st for calls, 170. But just a little bit of caution on the research that I did, right? Which is the ex-dividend date was coming up on May 9th. And an analysis of the last 10 ex-dividend dates shows that 70% of the time on the ex-div date, it closes red. So I was a little bit hesitant. We were kind of like in between, right? We're breaking this trend and kind of going up to the upside, but I might as well just go to TradingView. But that was a screenshot that I put in there. And so we saw similar setup on INTC. I put the same chart. They almost look exactly the same. And so the morning of, I went ahead and I hopped into both of them, and they immediately kind of took off in opposite directions, which was surprising to me. They immediately took off in opposite directions. And so this is how they first started out. Now, as of today, May 6th, I'm 2 for 3. So 2 out of my 3 trades that I took and I kind of gave a heads up to my community, 2 of them were successful, 1 was a loser. And this was great foreshadowing right here. This screenshot alone was the foreshadow that IBM was going to take care of me and that INTC was not. But the lesson learned here, at least for me, and the theme of the day, is to be very, very aware of the open interest and the volume activity with your contracts. So throughout the morning, IBM kept popping up 30% profit, 40% profit. But each time I tried to exit the trade and capture those profits, the ask and bid, the spread of the contracts got all squirrely. They got really crazy and gnarly. And so eventually I settled for about $72 profit, something like that, which turned out to be about 14%, 15%. So I'm still happy. Now, I did get stopped out on Intel. It was surprising because I was expecting Intel and IBM to move in the same direction at the same time, just because their setups looked exactly the same. But it was a lesson learned. Be hyper vigilant about the contract activity, that open interest and that volume. If that volume and open interest is low, it's a good indicator that it's going to be hard for you to exit. Most of us probably already know that, but if you know me, you know that my lives are geared towards the beginners, the newbies. So I'm speaking to all y'all. If you're just getting into options trading, one thing that we really want to pay close attention to is the open interest and the volume on those contracts. Thank y'all for the likes. Yo, that's got to be a big shout out to y'all. Big shout out. Big shout out. We're running the likes up. About to hit 1,000. About to hit 1,000. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let me see if I missed any comments. All right. All right. Thank y'all for joining. So, Vic, if you're still in here, I'm seeing your comments. You say, do I have any experience trading with prop firms? I do not. I'll be real, and I've had to really kind of change my bias and my opinion on prop firms. I came from a perspective that I had a very negative bias on prop firms. I had been hearing so much about them not paying out traders and them making the eval super hard and they making it extremely complicated and difficult to get into a funded account. And then there were all these YouTube videos coming out about scammers and stuff like that. I have been hearing more positive things as of lately. It feels like the market is kind of shifting when it comes to prop firms. But me personally, I've never traded with one. I've never given it a shot. I've always been kind of one of the ones that just wants to use my own money, use my own capital. I feel like, and I'm not knocking prop firms, but I just want to offer my perspective and my thoughts, right? I feel like to a degree, in some way, it's almost like trying to take a shortcut with a prop firm. And I'm not knocking them. I'm not knocking them at all. I think for me individually, I'm the type of person that has to get disciplined by building something up and going through all of the learning lessons. So for me, just using my own capital and going through all of that kind of like that journey is it works better for me. Now, if you're an extremely disciplined person and you've already got your trading strategy down to a T, you're already really good with your risk management, you're disciplined, you don't get greedy, you don't get fearful. If you're already locked in there, then I think prop firms would be a good route to go. But if you're like most of us, where we're kind of like really still having to do a lot of maturing when it comes to trading, I would kind of caution against that. Anything that kind of is like either borrowing money or using money that you don't quite have yet, or something that's kind of like putting you in a step that you're not quite at, I just would exercise a little bit of caution. Now, there was another question too. Vic, I think you asked, oh my gosh. Okay, well, it looks like I might be frozen on the other end. But Vic, you also asked, do I only trade options? And as of right now, I do only trade options. My goal is to get to the level where I feel like I have at least a base mastery of options trading, so that I can jump in at any moment, take profits, and feel confident that, I can make money options trading on any day. You know, when I get to that level, then I might try my hand at Forex or futures or commodities or something like that. I want to make sure I'm tapped in with you all. So everybody that's followed, thank you. John MC 021594921773. Thank you for tapping in. Nick Jefferson, I see you. Thanks for coming through. Of course, for whatever reason, lately the Wi-Fi has been super bad. It's been pretty trash. D-Mar, thanks for coming through. Pachito Guru says, where do you see NQ? I'm not too sure. Let's see. Let me bring it up. You know, I only really look at ES, the futures, because I trade options and stocks. So I don't really look at NQ too much. Let's go over there and go check it out. Thank y'all for the likes. We're at 1.3K on the likes. But how's everybody's trading going so far while we pull up this chart? How is everybody's trading going? Let's see. Boom. I feel like I need to close out a couple things. Let's take a look at NQ. All right. Boom. And thanks for reminding me. Thanks for reminding me, Panchito, because I always want to make sure that I keep NQ up as well as the futures. But if it's in alignment with this, yeah, so everything's kind of pushing up. So I'm not too sure what your timeline is, but I think that I'll say this. I'm really concerned about that phrase, selling man go away. I'm kind of been very, I'm already conservative, but I'm kind of extra conservative right now because at any moment I'm looking for the market makers and the institutions to start selling off to do that whole selling man go away thing. So that's my thoughts overall right now. Here's NQ. Let me bring this down. All right, so that we can see it. This is the 1 hour chart on MQ. I'm going to shrink myself down just a little bit, get a little bit more visual real estate going on. But as we can see, we're pushing up. Let me kind of make this on the daily chart and bring us down here. All right. So, yeah, I can see us continue to push up a little bit more, especially if we kind of break above this zone. So, I'm in the mode, man, where like I trade not trade, but I try to be as unbiased as possible. In this moment, it appears to be very bullish. So the market is telling me, hey, we're just going to continue to move up a bit. That is my thoughts, especially after this little drawdown. And it looks like we have somewhat of an abstract double bottom, if you will. So we'll continue to push up just a bit. Let's see. All right. Thanks for your input. I do think prop firms train my psychology compared to my personal. For sure. Steve Wright. Up a grand today, took a small QQQ call position, trimmed half already. Very good, Steve. That's one of my areas where I've been improving too, letting some winners run. So big salute, big shout out to you. Bradley K 1013, what's your thoughts on PLTR? PLTR is really starting to grow on me. I only got exposed to PLTR a little bit ago from a long-term investing perspective, and I didn't ever really consider it in terms of trading. And so I really didn't care for it because nobody ever really knew, at least a few years ago, what PLTR did as a business. It was very abstract and very vague. But from a trading standpoint, I definitely believe there's opportunities there. Just if you study the charts a little bit, study how the price moves on PLTR. Looks like they just had earnings. Was this today? They did have earnings today after the market closes. All right, so we're in earnings season. You guys know how I feel about playing earnings, so just exercise caution. Shasha says, what time charts do you recommend for setting your support and resistance zones? So Shasha, if you're still in here, it all depends on what type of trader you are. All right, so me primarily, I am a scalper and I really like the 30-minute chart for my scalps. So I base everything either on the 30-minute or the daily for my support and resistance zones. I know there are a lot of scalpers out there. When they hear me say that, they're like, why are you not looking at the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute if you're a scalper? But for me, anything below the 30-minute time frame is very noisy. Just my eyes and my psychology, it looks like it's too much noise. When I get to the 30-minute time frame, even as a scalper, things just they make more sense to me visually. So in that regard, when I'm focused on scalping, I'm looking at the 30-minute and the daily, and I set my zones there. But it all depends on what time frame you like to trade and how you trade. Yo, Acids, thanks for the follow. Thank you so much. Chart says, but I don't recommend prop firms. Very dangerous. Trading your own money is the way. Yeah, and exactly. That's how I feel personally. I feel like there's such a temptation for us as traders, especially if you're at the beginning, you're not a seasoned vet, if you're not consistently profitable. There's such a temptation to want to cheat and get ahead, thinking like, all right, if I just had access to more money, I could be more profitable. And that's just not the case. And I could tell you guys all straight up, I've done everything that you're not supposed to do when it comes to trading. I've done everything you're not supposed to do. I've done cash advances off of credit cards. I've done loans. I've borrowed money from family members. I've done all kinds of things. And one thing that it taught me is, if you feel the need to borrow money to trade, then that's kind of an indication that you're not there yet. Because if you have a good, solid system, and more importantly, if you have good discipline, then it's only a matter of time that you're going to build up your personal capital and see your trading account size grow. So that's just how I look at it. And again, I can't express this enough. I'm not knocking anybody who does the prop firm route. I'm just realizing for me and a lot of beginners, just to exercise a lot of caution, right? Try working on building up your own capital first, because it's going to give you a lot of discipline. It's going to teach you a lot about yourself. All right. Vic says, charts, I say it's situational because you're usually risking more money and your own money on PA. Yep. Shasha says, what interview are you trading the 30 or daily on? All right, so I'm going to give Shasha, I don't know if you were here when I just did my trading recap, right? So here is one of the trades that I talked about that we did today, or that I at least alerted today. This one was very simple. It wasn't much to it. I'm a very simple trader. So here's the 30-minute time frame, right? This is the 30-minute time frame for SPY. And we opened up the day bullish, but it was almost like weak bullish with these first two 30-minute candles that I saw. Then we had this nice bullish hammer right here, which was 9 o'clock California time. And then another one with a push up, breaking up to a new high. And so this was here at 10 o'clock, right? This was 9:30, this was 10. With this kind of bullish momentum on the 30-minute chart, it told me, okay, I wanted just a quick scalp because we had some momentum and trend upwards. And then, like I said, I used the daily. So I drew this line, this trend line, both on the 30-minute chart and the daily chart. So I'll switch over to the daily, which is very terrible. This is a little bit bad. I haven't updated it, but it's kind of like something like this. But that's the long and short of it, right? Kind of looking at the way that the daily was going, I saw that we had a gap up from Friday into today. And let me kind of break something else down that I've kind of been seeing with my own trades and my own eyes. I've noticed, right? And this might not be new, right? Some of y'all probably already have landed on this or realized this, or you knew this. But one thing I've kind of been noticing is there was a period of time where gap fills seemed, at least from 2020 to 2022, gap fills seemed to be like you could predict them. You could say, all right, it's going to close the gap now. What I've been noticing, or at least experiencing, is that when something gaps, it's usually an indication that price doesn't want to be there, that it wants to kind of gap and go and can continue in the direction of the gap. And so seeing that with this trend, and then going back to the 30-minute chart, just seeing that, okay, we had a little bit of momentum build up. Oh, snap, that was the hourly. That was what's wrong. But anyways, even with this, right, we still had a hammer, even though it was bearish, for a push up. So I hope that kind of makes sense. I feel like I was a little vague, but the long and short of what I'm saying is there were just these subtle factors, the trend, the gap up, and then the bullish candlesticks that told me, okay, just to try to go ahead and get in there for a quick scalp. That's the long and short of it. So Shasha, I hope that makes sense. I trade on the 30-minute chart. I base most of my things on how the 30-minute candles are going, and then I kind of reference that to the daily, what's going on the daily, either the day before or the day of.
No one's buzzing right now. Just FYI, those contracts up.
Oh, you're saying for how about? Okay, I got you. So on the 30-minute, let me turn this down. On the 30-minute, Shasha's asking, before the 30-minute, how far back is your chart? Oh, okay. It depends. It really depends. So, like, let's go back to the, let's go back here. I'll say this. I won't even overthink it. Let me just tell you straight up and down. I come with a reset mind frame each day on the 30-minute. I come with a reset mind frame each day. So while I might have some charting, to show me a trend like this right here, where I feel, let me move it over so y'all can see it. Well, I might have some charting like this right here that kind of shows me a rough trend line that I drew, which is kind of raw, kind of rough. I'm still approaching each day fresh, right? Depending on what was happening in the pre-market or the extended hours trading. So on average, my 30-minute charting might not go back more than a week. But that's the long and short of it. I usually try to approach each day fresh. I give the most emphasis to the most previous day, right? Whatever was going on. So today, here's Monday over here. I give a lot of emphasis as to what was going on Friday. And more specifically, I use this indicator that tells me what was Friday's high, Friday's low, and then the 50% on Friday. That's where I put the most emphasis, like a weighted average, right? And then for the most part, I probably won't go much further than a week back. And even that might seem like a little bit excessive because, like I said, I'm more of a scalper. and I do get a lot of criticism, right? Even with the way that I get contracts, even though I scalp, I'm usually looking for contracts that are a few days out for expiration. But that's just because I have this really weird quirk about seeing my theta more than my delta. I know if you're in a 0 DTE trade or a trade that expires the next day, if the price is moving in your direction, it's probably not going to impact you too much. But just for me, it's just one of those quirks where I don't like to see my theta higher than my delta. And so that's part of the reason why I see like this. I have like this general analysis or charting for a few days in the past, and then getting contracts a few days into the future. But, you know, like I said, it all goes back to me being very, very conservative as a trader. Shot says, or it doesn't even matter. That's what I've been trying to understand when doing my analysis. Wait, can you explain that pre-market / post-market shaded area? I'm confused why they're right next EO. I'm not too sure. I hope I made sense, Shasha. I want to make sure I'm doing you a service. I try to use different words. Let me see. So Vic says, wait, can you explain that pre-market / post-market shaded area? I'm confused why they're right next E/O. I'm not too sure what the E/O means, Vic. What do you mean? Give me a little bit of clarity so I can answer your question directly. Yo, thank y'all for rocking with me. We're almost at 2K likes. I appreciate y'all. Good. All right, cool. Let's see what we got going on. One thing I thought was interesting that I had my eyes on is Amazon is trying to reach all-time highs, and it's in this upward trend on the daily chart. Let me break this down. All right, Muhammad Awis, thank you for the follow. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Muhammad, thank you so much. But here we go. We've got Amazon right here on the daily chart. I believe this is the all-time high that happened back in mid-April, and we're trying to approach it. So we've got somewhat of an abstract double bottom, which is kind of weird, but we're in this kind of trend up that I plotted out, right? We're in this trend up. It hasn't broken this trend yet. And so it's interesting because you could, if you find a good entry intraday, you could get in and try to ride this trend up, at least to the all-time high, or you could wait for the trend to break and enter puts on Amazon. All right, Vic says to each other. Sorry, ran out of space. No worries. I'll show you. So we can take a look. We're looking at Amazon right now. My thesis so far on Amazon is that it's in a trend upwards. As we can see here, it's reaching its all-time highs. And so what Vic is asking about, for those of us that don't know, is the shaded area right here. So one thing I want to show you is, so as you probably already know, Vic, or to the audience, the blue area each day, let me zoom out a little bit so we can see it. The blue area each day represents the after hours trading. So when the market closed, these were all the trades that happened on Friday after hours. The orange area represents the pre-market trading of each day. So this is a new day. This is Monday today. Here we have all of Monday's activity. So basically, here's Friday actively. The market closed. Here are all the trades that happened in blue. And then the pre-market for today is here in orange. And then here we have the active trades going on right now for today, Monday. Steve Wright, second target just hit on the Qs, out for 120%. Not bad for a slow day. Yeah, it has been a slow day. Big shout out to Steve. All right, Steve, just one request for you. And you probably have already done this, but make sure you log your trades into your trading journal. Make sure we log our trades into our trading journal. But so Vic, the reason why they're next to each other is just because they're back to back, right? This was Friday and then this was Monday. This was Friday pre-market right here, and then this was Thursday after hours. And so that's why they're back to back. Now, when it comes to me scalping, I take into consideration the pre-market and after hours trading activity. There are a lot of people that don't. I do when it comes to my scalping and getting an idea of how far we gapped in a direction or anything like that. Now, when it comes to my swing trading, which I'm getting more and more into, oddly enough, I don't take into account the pre-market and aftermarket. I look at the daily chart and that's it. I don't include the pre-market and aftermarket activity. I know that seems kind of weird, but when I'm zoned in, scalping, looking for the quick in and out, I want to see what happened in the pre-market and the aftermarket, what's going on. When it comes to the daily swings, the swing trades, I'm not too concerned because obviously the goal is to hold it 4 days and things like that. That might even sound counterintuitive now that I say it, but that's where I'm at right now. I'm so slow. I was thinking it was the other way around. That's why I was confused. Thanks a lot. No, you're not slow at all. Not slow at all, bro. We just have to ask clarifying questions, and that's why we're all here together to learn and help each other out. Thank you so much for the likes, Anna. Thank you. All right. So if you took any trades today and you've logged them into your trading journal, put a 1 in the chat. Yo, Vic, thank you so much for the follows. If you took any trades today and you've put them in your trading journal, win, lose, or draw, put a 1 in the chat. Yo, I see y'all. I see you. Okay, so we're looking at Amazon. Like I said, I feel like Amazon is getting to all-time highs. We're in this trend up. Of course, this is getting really spotty. All right. So here we go. I believe, yeah. So Amazon is trying to reach all-time highs. This might even, not even a double bottom. Did I say that earlier? Oh, abstract double bottom. This is a head and shoulders. At least that's what it looks like, an inverted head and shoulders on Amazon daily chart. I don't know. For some reason, intuitively, I'm just having a lot of confidence that it might try to break the all-time high before it has a significant retracement or pullback. So it is, on this trend up. It had, I don't know if you even count the first one, but we'll say one touch, kind of another touch here. So, we're in an upwards trend. I might even consider just, taking a look at some far out kind of swings for Amazon. I just have a concern that once it hits the all-time high again, it's going to retrace and come back down, right? Just like how we saw here. Boom, came down. It looks like we're doing an inverted head and shoulders on the daily chart. But that's what I'm looking at in terms of Amazon right now. We've got full time frame continuity to the upside. Yes, indeed. But yeah, no problem at all, Vic. And it's not about being slow. It's just our minds have to figure these things out, constantly look at things differently. But I noticed that none of y'all put 1 in the chat. So have none of us logged our trades in our trading journal or what today? None of us have logged our trades in our trading journal. What's going on here? All right. Let's see what the Qs are doing. All right, Q. Just like SPY, just kind of sputtering up. This is the 30-minute chart. All right, 30-minute chart trying to head up. Oh, snap. All right. Oh, whoa. Wow. So I definitely could have stayed in the trade for the SPY calls. I'd be up a nice little chunk right now. I need to learn to not be so conservative or really push myself to let my winners run more and more. Yeah, because I could be rolling right now. All right. Brian Fellows, Big Bike Lights, thank you for coming through. I see y'all. So we're intraday. I just wanted to tap in, see what the TikTok audience, what the TikTok community was talking about today, see what kind of trades was going on. But yeah, was this that's Tesla? Let me see. PLTR. All right, one thing I wanted to look at was see how IBM was. So IBM was another one. If you just joined the live, IBM was another one that I did analysis on and gave a heads up to the community. And the only thing that sucked about IBM was, let me go over here actually. The only thing that sucked about IBM, and this was the lesson of the day, was that although price had a nice smooth ride up into our direction to the upside, bullish, the volume and open interest on the contracts was so low that there were times when they spiked 30-40% profit, and when I tried to exit, there was just no buyers there. So definitely, if you're new and you're learning about options trading contracts, the open interest and the volume, you want to make sure you've got some solid open interest and volume, which is basically liquidity, so that you have buyers there to help you get out when you're ready to exit the trade. But it's working out perfectly. Let me go ahead and break this down. Look at this. This was the analysis that I did kind of over the weekend, showing that it looks like IBM had broke this downward trend, had a nice little heads up that it was going to break with this bullish hammer on the daily chart. We had this that came through on Friday, and then this is today. And this was the analysis that I did, gave the heads up. So fortunately, I was able to get out with profit. It's just that here we go, 14%. It's just that the contracts were rough to get out. But there were times where I was up a couple $100 and it just wouldn't let me exit. Yo, one more. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming through, y'all. So just what we're looking at, very simple. Like I said, I don't go crazy. I've realized that for me, for some reason, when I look back at my trading performance, the more simple I make my trading, the better my performance has been, the more profitable I am. So, if you kind of feel like you're getting overwhelmed, try just simplifying your trading. All right, let's see who's tapped in with us. Top viewers, charts in the house. John MC 4719, Steve Wright, I see you. I love you. What's up? What's up? Drench the Fit, okay. In code 12105, user 090417, Anna James, of course, and JR 55555. Thank y'all for being in with the live and rocking with your boy. Boom. Yeah, so I'll repeat. The big lessons of the day for me were be hyper aware of the open interest and volume levels for your contracts, because of course if there's not enough liquidity there, or really more so buyers there, then it's going to be hard for you to exit. Although my analysis was correct when it comes to IBM breaking this downtrend and heading back to the upside on the daily chart, as this hit my profit targets, it was just hard to get out. So that was just definitely a lesson learned, but at least it was a lesson learned with profit, so I can't be upset. Yo, Anna, thanks for a tiny dinosaur. Thank you. I've never gotten one of those before. That's what's up. Thanks for the tiny dinosaur. All right. Yes. Yep. I probably want to go check and see what the values are on those contracts I was in at IBM. Thank you, Anna, for the likes. Thank you so much. Yo, Joseph Jean Robert, thanks for coming through. I see you. All right. Chart says, I like your scalping explanation, by the way. I win a lot of trades, but always forget to journal. Am I wrong? I don't want to use like wrong or right. I don't want to use wrong or right at all, because I don't want to come off judgy. But the good thing about journaling is, let's say, for instance, you start to see a little sputter and you're kind of losing your winning streak. And out of nowhere, you're starting to feel like you've had an uptick of losing trades. In your trading journal, you can at least make notation of, or look back and see, oh, this is what has changed, right? So in my trading journal, I have the date and time. I have a notation for what my emotional state was. I use adjectives to describe how I felt in the trade. Did I feel like I was too heavy? Did I feel like I had a bad entry? All of those kind of things. And of course, the actual data for the trade, right? How much did I pay for the contracts? What was the ticker symbol? All of that kind of stuff. And so the thing about having the journal is, if you're starting to notice or feel a difference on how you're performing, you can go to your journal and see right away, oh, this is what's going on. I've noticed that I've been more anxious. Well, why is that? Well, my average trade, I put on more size. And when I wasn't trading at this size, I didn't have this kind of anxiety. Or I've noticed that, on Fridays, I have the best wins, and I've been trading a lot more on Wednesdays, or whatever the case may be, right? Logging all of that in your journal and being able to look back and see, okay, this is what's changed, will make it very easy for you to identify if something stops working. Right? If something stops working, you could easily identify it, where it might be a little tough if you don't have it logged. Yep. Thank y'all for the follows. Thank you. I appreciate you, charts. Thank you so much. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I'm just, I'm really proud of myself with this analysis. Very simple analysis on this trend line break for IBM, breaking to the upside. The only thing that sucked was just those contracts were unruly. Those contracts were like bad little toddlers. Yes, indeed. But I'm very curious about Amazon. I'm also very curious about Apple this week. Let's go take a look at Apple. Tim Cook announced in the earnings release last week that they're going to make a big announcement related to AI on Thursday. So I'm very, very curious what Apple is going to say when it comes to the announcement this week. Very, very curious. Wondering if that's going to cause the stock to spike, to go straight up, or what. For sure. Anytime charts, anytime. But I wanted to take a look at Apple really quick. Let's see. Boom. All right. So Apple created a huge gap from their earnings the other day. It looks like it's trying to push down into the gap on the daily chart. But I'm wondering how much of this gap is going to be closed between now and Thursday, before they make the announcement about AI or whatever they got going on. Wayne, what's up? Thanks for coming through. Thanks for joining. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Francisco Hernandez, I see you. Jack CEO, what's up? What's up? But yeah, we're taking a look at Apple on the daily chart. We're pushing back into this gap, right, to close this gap that was formed after their earnings. Let's see if we can see a potential play. So from the daily side, right, we've got, we're starting to form a downward trend. It may be a little early to tell depending on how this day closes. We've got an hour and 15 minutes left in the market. But I'm wondering if we're going to continue to close and go down until they make the announcement. Do we have a date? That's on Thursday, right? What's next for Apple AI? Insights from research provide clues. Okay, Apple Inc.'s delayed entry to the AI arena. And why won't this get out of the way? All right, Apple Inc.'s delayed entry. Let me kind of move this over. However, recent rumors reported by The Verge suggested Apple was strategically preparing its AI strategy. Reports indicated discussions with OpenAI and Alphabet Inc.'s Google for potential collaborations alongside the development of its own AI model named Ajax. Apple's approach to AI, as hinted by its research, focused on efficiency and on-device processing. The company aims to significantly enhance Siri by deploying smaller, more efficient AI models. Bloomberg reported plans for iOS 18 to have all AI features running on an on-device and fully offline model. Okay, so I know this might be far out, but one of the things I was kind of talking about with my dad yesterday is that would it be crazy if Apple was to announce tomorrow in terms of, or not tomorrow, but this week, in terms of AI, on each individual device, AI could spin up and create an app for you, like a small app, almost like a widget, but more robust, more intuitive, that fits whatever you're describing. That would be insane, in my opinion. That's just on your device, your iPad, your iPhone, something like that, and it's just a little AI app that you describe in the phone or the device, or the AI creates it. Who knows? Steve Wright says they got a nice pop because of the massive buyback, but the iPhone sales decreasing is very bearish. That's very right, Steve. Very, very, very right. So we got to see, what are they going to drop? They need to do something that's going to show that they're going to capture sales in another way. You know, it would be dope too if they made an announcement. I don't know if you guys remember, what was it, last year or earlier this year? I think it was last year, when Microsoft said they had introduced the new Copilot for businesses, and that it was going to start off at like $30 a user. And that day, Microsoft went crazy. I think it went up like $75, $80 in one day. And I'm wondering if Apple could announce something like that, to where maybe you pay something extra for AI. That might be crazy. You know, maybe if you pay $3.99 a month and then you get access to maybe a robust AI system. I don't know how the market would receive that, but very interesting. Thank y'all for the likes. Thanks for coming through. Apple is saying an announcement is May 7th at 7 a.m. Thank you, Anna. I was going to go look for the link, or look for that info so I could drop it in our community. I thought it was going to be on Thursday, but May 7th is tomorrow. Now I'm kind of like, yo, do I need to be looking to get in? Let me see. Let's see if I can find something. Apple AI announcement. Let's see. All right, of course the computer's freezing up. Lord have mercy. All right, user 258-7359-1479 CRVO. We'll check that out in just a moment. Let's see. Where does it say? Let's see. Let's go directly to, oh, that's the machine learning. I think it's going to be Forbes that says it. Let's take a look at Forbes. Let's close some of these ridiculous tabs that I got open at the top. Boom. Let's close all of this down. All right, Forbes is saying In a matter of days, Apple is going to announce the new iPads, but alongside a new iPad Pro, a larger iPad Air, and new Magic Keyboard and Apple Pencil, there's going to be talk about AI. Apple CEO Tim Cook has just confirmed. For those worrying that Apple was being left behind by not being in the race to deploy AI, the CEO has good news. Of course, there's a giant ad that pops up. And these websites wondering why they're like not getting subscribers. Right? Put the ad to the side. Let's see where we're at. I just wanted to see the exact date. But it looks like Anna found it for us already. So if you don't mind, Anna, if you could drop it in the Discord, drop it into our community where the link is, because I just want to be on top of when they make this announcement. Let me see if I can do a... Let's see. For sure. Thank you, Anna. Lord. I will say this. I'm very thankful that my iMac desktop has lasted as long as it is. It's almost 10 years old, so I think it's time for me to retire it. There's certain updates I can't even get anymore in terms of like updating my Microsoft products and things like that. But I think it's time to retire this. Let me see what Apple event is coming up. All right. It is May 7th, Mac Rumors. All right. Mac Rumors says what to expect. Let's see what we got here. Let's give it a moment because we know ads are going to pop up. Seattle Limo Service, thanks for coming through. I think you've joined before, maybe not, but thanks for coming through, Seattle Limo Service. Appreciate it. What we're looking at right now before we go back to the charts is what is Apple planning to announce for tomorrow. Let me kind of... Oh my gosh. Let's see. All right, Apple is set to hold its first event of the year next Tuesday, and the focus will be on the iPad. The iPad Pro and iPad Air models are set to be updated, and Apple also plans to refresh some of its iPad accessories. The video-based event will last for about 35 minutes. It's interesting how people get certain bits of information. This guide features details on everything that we're expecting to see at the Let Loose event that will take place on May 7th. All right, so for those of us, if you just be on your toes about Apple tomorrow, taking a look at it, things like that. We got an announcement coming up. I watched it say it in this original article that I was looking at. But all right, so Apple is pushing down into this gap. Let's see what they say about AI tomorrow. Let's see what goes on. Let's see. But yep. But with that being said, I just wanted to tap in, do a little intraday talk, a little recap on the trades that we took today, things like that. Of course, I love you. I see you in the building. Thanks for coming through. Of course, user 258-47359-1479 that wanted CRVO. Are you still in here? Are you still in? The one that wants CRVO? Let's go take a look. Let's see. CRVO. I don't have a chart for it. It says I'm here. Oh, thanks for your patience. Thank you so much. Thank y'all for the likes. We're almost at 4K likes. Thank y'all. So I think what I'm going to start doing, on top of the other things that I have planned, is I'll talk it out with Anna, see what Anna thinks. But I think if we meet certain milestones on the likes during a TikTok live, and somebody if people join the community, then I'll look to give some awards or give some thank yous. But here is CRVO. Oh no, this is Apple. I was about to say, why does it look just like the Apple chart? Looks like we're consolidating. I don't know if anybody cares about these kind of things, but it definitely looks like we've got this ascending triangle that's being formed. A lot of consolidating, trying to push up above this level. All right, so it's definitely not a matter of it being towards the all-time high. We're looking at ticker symbol CRVO. That's Charlie, Roger, Victor, Oscar. Charlie, Roger, Victor, Oscar. And this is Servo Med Inc. Currently at about $25 a share. It's been pushing down for quite some time, for a long time. I know you guys can't really see the chart, but it looks like we are kind of consolidating and we're pushing, trying to break through this level right here. We've made somewhat of an ascending triangle on the daily chart. So the way that I'm looking at it, the way that I'm thinking is if we can get above, let's go. Yeah, yep. If we could break above, what is this? Like 2643, I would be interested in taking calls just off just a first look without doing any much more analysis. Delete that. The fact that we're forming this pressure to the upside, kind of consolidating and building up momentum, however you want to describe it. If we could break above this candle's high, which is 2638, is that true? Let's bring that up. So my thoughts are, just at first glance, if we could break above this 2638, I will be interested in getting into calls. But it looks like we just got a little bit of resistance, a little bit of pressure. But this is the daily chart. GME versus everybody. Thanks for coming through. Game stonk. Para short interest is crazy. I love you. Thank you for the hearts. Appreciate that. All right. So the big thing, if it isn't already on your radar, is to be on the lookout. Tomorrow, Apple is making an announcement related to their iPads and more importantly, if you will, related to their generative AI. So you definitely want to be tapped into what's going on with Apple. Sounds like they're going to be making an announcement tomorrow at 7 a.m. So just be on the lookout for some big moves for Apple in terms of AI. We are in this gap, so I'll just be watching Apple for the remainder of the day, the last hour of the market being open. It looked like after earnings, it was trying to break above the yearly open. So where Apple started out for 2024, it got all the way back up to the yearly open and we're trying to break through there, but got some resistance. So what I'm thinking is happening, I'm somewhat of a conspiracy theorist. I think the market makers, how they get down. I'm thinking they're going to kind of push down for the rest of the day, get some liquidity, get a little bit in here, and then when the announcement is made, just kind of push up and blast past the yearly open. That's what I'm thinking. That's right. Keep an eye on it. Anyway, the Apple AI news goes bad. Ooh. That's a good question. And that is something I was thinking about, right? Because for the last year and a half, if you just mentioned AI, the stock pops. If you mention anything meaningful, intangible about AI, your stock popped for that day, or got some good bullish momentum. There's one way that I think the AI could be received bad, the news from Apple, is if it's not impressive and innovative enough, where the market is like, that's lackluster, right? If it's not impressive enough, that could be perceived, or that could create some bearish sentiment, right? It's like, oh, okay, whatever. And we got to be careful with that, because in the whole great Samsung versus Apple debate, right? Apple's always kind of been behind when it comes to innovative technologies. That's one thing to kind of consider. The next thing is, and I kind of had this thought just a moment ago in terms of the AI news being received bad. If they can't equate it to increased sales or revenue, then it might be lackluster, if that makes sense. So the perfect example that I have is what I just said not too long ago with Microsoft. Remember when Microsoft mentioned that they were going to offer Copilot to businesses, and it was going to be priced at least $30 per user per business? So just imagine, if you've got a business, let's just bring up the calculator right quick, right? Let's say you've got a business, because most companies in America, or really around the world, has Microsoft, right? The Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook. But let's say you have a business that has 5,000 employees, and each one has that type of Microsoft license, and they're all going to start using Copilot. Just for one business, that turned out to be $150,000 a month revenue increase for Microsoft. So that caused it to boom that day. I don't know if y'all remember that day when Microsoft announced the AI with Copilot starting at $30 per user per license, right? So imagine some of these companies have 5,000 employees, 10,000 employees, 3,000 employees, however many. That immediately equated to tens of millions of dollars of just out of nowhere revenue for Microsoft. Now, thinking about Apple, when it comes to Apple, I'm thinking that, if the AI news is not tied to dollars for the shareholders and the investors, then I won't say it necessarily is going to be like a push down on the stock, but we probably won't see that boom that a lot of us are probably expecting, right? That push up past the yearly open. So that's my thoughts. They're really going to need to introduce something way innovative, or say something that ties to more dollars for the shareholders and revenue increase, net income, stuff like that. Yo, Roland Luke, thank you for the follow. Elysier, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Today's Microsoft AI news was so slow. Yep. Yo, Shiv, thank you for the follow. I see you. Appreciate it. Anna James says, I kind of want to put a small call in tonight on Apple. Not sure, though. I'm thinking the exact same thing. Especially, if the IV is not high like it was for earnings. If the IV has dropped down way low on Apple calls, I might consider it. I definitely will. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Roland Luke says, thoughts on AMC. Yo, Bruno123, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Thoughts on AMC, man. We were talking about it in the Discord community, AMC, recently. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Look at us. We're down here at 331. So one of the things we're kind of talking about, me and one of the members in the community, Discord community, is that, maybe it's GameStop. We're talking about GameStop is probably soon going to announce bankruptcy or something like that. When it comes to AMC, it's just, how many of us are, I've been to the movies recently, but how many of us are really going to the movies, right? And not just that, AMC has so many other competitors. It's a lot of these boutique movie theaters that are really starting to grow in popularity, at least here in California on the West Coast. We have a lot of these different kind of like boutique movie theaters that are popping up, and more people are going to them. So when it comes to AMC, I'm more short-sighted. Bearish on it, a push down. Now, if they do something crazy like we've been seeing the past couple of years, where when a company announces bankruptcy, the market goes crazy and pushes it up, that could happen. I kind of think the same thing might happen with GameStop if they announce bankruptcy, something like that. 5.5K likes. Thank y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Nelly Wood, thanks for joining. But, all right, y'all, I'm sorry. Got to wrap it up. I just wanted to tap base with y'all, test in with you really quick. But feel free to come through and join us in the Discord, Passive Income University. The link is in my bio. You get the first 30 days free. And then just after that, it's just $10 a month. We've got exclusive content and videos. We do exclusive discussions each week. I do a monthly cash giveaway. I'm about to announce my cash giveaway for May. But like I said, most importantly, you could join for 30 days for free. You get a full look at the entire Discord. See if you're rocking with us. If not, you can cancel. No harm, no foul. But other than that, it's just $10 a month. But with that being said, I can't express enough. It means the most to me. It means a lot to me when you guys just rock with me, give me your time. You could be on anybody else's live, but you chose to be with me. And so for all the new followers, welcome. I appreciate you, and I'll be tapping in with y'all later. All right. Peace.